Good morning, everybody. It is Saturday, March 22nd, and I'm Chris Allen here at 270 Weather. Weather for the 270 area code and beyond. Good morning to you, March 22nd. We've got a pretty clear start going on this morning. It's not as frosty as it was yesterday morning. Remember that when we were in the 20s? At least we're not dealing with that this morning. But we do have a clear sky as you're looking live here at 7:38 a.m. Central Time to the Plano Cam here in the 270 outer limits of Bowling Green. We've got a beautiful sunny start. We may see a few high clouds from time to time today, but otherwise, it's going to be a great day. If you want to get outside, you got a little bit of spring fever, you want to try to maybe get some things cleaned up in the yard or prep for the spring season, and maybe you want to mow. Maybe. I'm not saying you have to, but you know, we've had a lot of rain, so the grass has grown up. I'm just saying. Uh, it, hopefully, guys, hopefully your wife didn't hear me say that. You need to get out there and mow the yard. No, I'm just I'm sorry, fellas, if that's the case. I didn't mean to get you in trouble. But anyway, we are looking at really it's going to be a nice day, full of sunshine, temperatures right where they need to be for this time of the year, and a bit of a breeze, but it's from the south. It's going to be a warm breeze, and so that's going to be helpful. Looking at the stats from yesterday, we had a high of 61 here in Bowling Green. That's just 1 degree below the normal of 62. So, we're right where we need to be or supposed to be here toward the end of March. That low of 27 though was not. It that was a tough that was a smack to the face. As soon as you got outside yesterday morning, you see all the frost on your windshield and frost over everything. It was just like, wow, wait a minute. Have we gone back to winter? What's the deal? It happens in March in Kentucky. It could even happen in April. I've seen it happen before. Let's hope it's not a trend. But yeah, 27 was our low temperature. Whew. All right, let's check out there you see the radar. This morning, there's nothing around. There is a little weak disturbance that's making its way through the area this morning, but all it's producing are clouds. It's not producing any rain. Down here near the surface, the dew points, humidity levels are really, really low, very dry. So there may be some moisture above us in the form of clouds, and certainly there is, but as it starts to fall, it hits that dry air and it just evaporates. So you're not going to get any raindrops today. You're not going to see that. Any cloud cover that passes by, it's part of that disturbance and it's not going to produce anything. But tomorrow looks to be a different story. And let me get to that because there is a low end conditional severe weather threat. Let's inspect that. Okay. Today, nothing. There is, as you can see, there is a threat further west, and some of the garden variety thunderstorms may encroach on places like Owensboro, Madisonville, Paducah, far western Kentucky, but that's not us. That's not the 270. But tomorrow, this is the severe weather threat. It's a low end threat and it's conditional in that if the conditions with all the ingredients come together, then we could see something. But it could be that we're, looking at some showers in the morning, just showers, maybe a thunderstorm, nothing severe. Once that little batch of rain comes through, and if we can keep it cloudy for much of the day before the cold front arrives tomorrow night, then that would either negate or cut down on the threat for severe weather tomorrow night. But even with the threat, if it's there, um, it's a low end threat. And you can see it just kind of takes in southern Kentucky, the Bowling Green area, over to about, say, Monticello, Wayne County, and then into middle Tennessee, the Nashville area. And then the stronger part of the storm is off to the southwest toward Jackson and Memphis, Tennessee, and Tupelo, Mississippi, and Jackson, Mississippi. So that's where a level two slight risk is. And again, this is tomorrow afternoon, tomorrow evening. We're looking at about 6, 7 o'clock in the evening when this thing is going to be at its strongest. But if we can keep it cloudy, if we can keep it kind of damp tomorrow after the morning round of showers, then I don't think there's that much of a chance of severe. And the better energy for this is going to be further southwest. And usually we get robbed of that energy when it's down south of us. So that's the outlook for tomorrow. Now, specifically, we're in that short term window where I can show you specifics like this. The tornado outlook for southern Kentucky, 2 to 4% chance. It's not much. I mean, it's not zero, but it's as close to zero as you can get. We never say zero because with these kind of systems, when they come in, especially if it's producing damaging wind and some hail, we get directional shear that goes on in the atmosphere. Well, that alone can cause a brief spin up, which could be an EF0 or EF1 tornado, which the winds are 80, 90 miles per hour, give or take. But it's still a tornado and it can still do damage. But this is a very, very low end threat. So it's there, it's painted in because if, like I said, again, it's conditional. If the conditions are right, then something could pop up. But really, the threat that we're looking at more than a tornado threat would be a damaging wind threat, which covers the same area, 5 to almost 15% chance that you could get straight line damaging wind. We think what's going to come through is going to form a line, more of a linear squall line of thunderstorms that could produce some wind damage. And there's even at least a hail threat, very small hail threat, again at 5 to 14, almost 15% chance that you could get some hail out of these storms because there's enough cold air aloft or above us that it could produce something there. So that's something to keep an eye on for tomorrow afternoon and evening. I'm not saying that it's going to happen, but uh, you know, it's something to watch for. Keep your weather radios turned on. Make sure you've downloaded the News 40 weather app just to stay on top of it, and we'll be on top of it too. We'll, you know, go in if we have to and be on television and do all the things necessary should it warrant us doing that. Well, here's a look at the satellite view this morning, and there have been a few clouds, but things look pretty good here. That's the infrared. Let's go to the visible. There you see some of the clouds that have been hanging around in parts of the area. There is the more of the terra firma view with the more of the terrain. Yeah, it's not a bad day. It's not going to be that bad of a day. Actually, it's going to be very very spring like, and with the breezes coming in from time to time at 10 to 20, it's really going to be a pretty good day. All right, so let's go to the maps and I'll show you the next 7 days and what to expect from there. And here you see it painting in everything, and you can see that that little weak disturbance passing by is going to continue to pass by and move off to the east. There it is, kind of to the north of us, decaying, falling apart. But there's high pressure, and that's really our dominant weather factor for today, and that's what's going to give us a nice day. As we get on into tonight, high pressure still in control, but you see tighter lines here back to the west. That means it's going to get breezy, and that's the breezes that are going to be with us tomorrow for a couple of rounds of rain that's going to come in. Here's a look at this is around midnight, 1 a.m. You can see a warm front area of low pressure to the west. It's not very deep, comparatively speaking, to the ones that we've had last week and last weekend. Very deep low pressure systems, very strong. This one's not that strong, but there is warm air lifting to the north. You get the moisture, showers, thunderstorms over Missouri as we get into early tomorrow morning. Then they start to move in to southern Kentucky and much of the western part of the state as the low travels into Missouri, and we get the breezes and we get the showers tomorrow morning. Like I said, not expecting severe weather, so you can go to church, you can do whatever you're going to do tomorrow morning, and it's just rain, a bit of wind, and maybe a rumble of thunder. There may not be enough instability for thunder tomorrow morning. But then we get a little bit of a reset into the afternoon and evening, and here comes our cold front. I think there will be a time in between Sunday morning and Sunday evening that we could have a little bit of a dry slot in there where the rains actually taper off. And it's during that time, if we get a lot of sunshine in between, that could add to the instability, the up and down motion in the atmosphere. And if that's the case, then our conditional severe weather threat for tomorrow afternoon would then become more likely. But after the morning round of showers, if we can keep a canopy of clouds in here and keep it kind of damp and cloudy, then I think our conditional weather threat may be much less likely as we get into tomorrow evening. But I do think we'll have a round of thunderstorms, maybe a few gusty winds. There could be some, as you saw with the severe weather threat, there could be some hail involved, but maybe not much more than that. And then this thing is out of here pretty quickly after, say, about 9 or 10 o'clock tomorrow night. It's gone. Here is 7 a.m. Monday morning. The weather clears up, and here's another disturbance that's going to try to work in. In fact, there's a series of these next week, one after the other, that's going to come in. This one's pretty weak as well. This is for Tuesday morning, light rain showers, and not everybody's even going to see that. Here we go into Wednesday, then Thursday, another disturbance moves in, but it too is not all that impressive. We go into Friday next week. Um, Here comes more wind and more rain. So I know we've had plenty of rain. Um, it would be nice to kind of get a break from rain, but it's not, we're not there yet. We're not there. We're going to have several more rounds of rain coming our direction, as you can see. Now, here's a look at the model blender, and you can see that, you know, at least temperature wise, we're going to keep things pretty seasonable. You know, we should be at 62 right now. 62 is a normal high temperature for the 22nd of March. And for the next several days, it starts to trickle up 63, 64, 65, 65 or 66 toward the end of that 10-day period that you're looking at. So the numbers are going to be right there where they need to be. 60s and 70s. I don't see anything too cold coming in. Chilly maybe on a couple of occasions, like next Wednesday night into Thursday, we go from 62 to 38. But other than that, we're looking at really, really good numbers for the 10-day stretch. Speaking of the stretch, here is my official 7-day forecast as seen on News 40 last night. 63 today with that mainly sunny sky, breezy. There could be a few clouds at times, down to 43 tonight. And then we go to 70 tomorrow, warm and breezy. And there's your, right now, it's 80% coverage of showers and thunderstorms. And yeah, there could be some a little more intense if we get some added instability between the morning round of showers and the afternoon, then we could have a conditional severe weather threat, but it's on the low end. Okay. Then we have a few leftover showers Monday morning, then clearing in 64, 65, and there's that next disturbance, weak disturbance coming in on Tuesday. We get a break Wednesday, 64, then we go 65 Thursday, and again, another disturbance or two coming in for the end of next week. But look what happens. We go from 65 Thursday to 74 on Friday, next Friday. That's going to feel nice. And that's going to be looking good for the upcoming weekend next week, which will be, are we, yeah, that it'll be the last weekend of March. And then the following week, we hop right into April. Wow. April already? Good Lord. Isn't that crazy? This goes so fast. Oh, by the way, I want to show you this. Yeah. Yesterday was World Down Syndrome Day because it was the 21st, and we're talking about Down syndrome, the 21st chromosome. Uh, Last year I did this, the Hardwood Heroes basketball game. It's this morning. It's going to be at Cumberland Trace Elementary this morning around 10:30, and is to raise money for the Buddy House and Down syndrome of South Central Kentucky. And as many of you know, um, my sister-in-law Felicia, who passed away a few years ago, um, she had Down syndrome, and but she was just a very precious part of our family, and so my buddies at the Buddy House and Down syndrome of Southern Kentucky, I love them, and they're going to be there, and we're going to play basketball and just have a good time and raise some money. And it's always fun to be with my buddies. I look forward to being with them. All right, you guys. I hope you make it a beautiful Saturday. Hope that you make it a good one. Thanks as always for watching. 270 weather here in the 270. I'm Chris Allen. God bless you. Thank you.